Autobombs. They're quite useful. They explode, run towards enemies, and explode. But have you ever wondered, dang, I wonder how many levels of hero mode you could beat using only autobombs? Well, I'm sure you have, because you clicked on this video. First level was extremely easy. There was literally nothing to it, just throw a bomb there, and you're done. So that's possible. Now the second level, I actually thought it impossible on my first try. Yeah, the first bit is easy, but then you come to this wall. On my first attempt, I tried to climb through the normal technique of mashing B. But as this wall wanted to be quirky and different, it had a bit we had to swim to the side. On my first attempt, I thought this was impossible, but after watching through the footage again, I realised I was able to make the ink go slightly to the left, but only by a tiny bit. So I re-attempted the level with this technique in mind. This took me way too long, by the way, and managed to get to the top, which allowed me to fall down into the launch pad, and after that, the level was easily beaten. I actually found something interesting out in the third level. Autobombs won't run towards flying enemies, but they can still kill them. But anyways, I eventually came across this wall, which at first I thought was completely impossible, as I could only get halfway up before being pushed off, and after I was pushed off, I essentially lost all my progress. But then out of anger, as I thought I couldn't do it, I threw an autobomb and inked a small bit of the middle, and I thought, maybe I could go halfway, stay there until the washers go away, and then go the rest of the way. And when I did do that, I was so happy, because honestly, I thought it was impossible. But I did it anyway, so yeah. And after that, the rest of the level was easy, and I did not almost die here. But I still got the level. Boss 1. It wasn't fun to say the least. First off, I tried to do it the usual way. Paint the bread, get on top of the bread, paint the next bread, then just get to the top. That didn't really work as the autobombs were stupid and wouldn't paint the second bread. So I had to find another way. I realised that I was just about able to throw an autobomb on top of the mega toaster thing and it would deal some damage to the tentacle at the top. So I completed phase 1 in 2 minutes 23 with this technique and moved on to the second phase. The second phase was relatively the same as the first in terms of difficulty. It was just harder because there were these chimney things in the way. But the final stage is where things started to get a little less fun and a little more. Because the entire floor was now pink and it was very hard to move around and gain ink. Being able to move around better would have been really useful because the bread was now popping faster than ever and I had to jump to different little puddles of ink to avoid them. I also found a technique which makes the shower useless just by hopping into it, getting it disabled instantly, and then regaining my shield. But in the end I did manage to do it and was very happy when I did. So all of World 1 is possible. So, on to World 2 and Level 4. Level 4 is quite easy, apart from the fact that autobombs are really imprecise when launching the rollium, and that I almost died. Twice. But now you're seeing me with a stingray and you're like, why has he got a stingray, bro? Isn't it like against the rules or something? And it is. Kinda. I will explain the rules I put in place for myself now. So, I'm not allowed to use my main weapon, any sub-weapon that isn't an autobomb, any special, including indirect ones like Ink Storm, or cannons. I am allowed to use the Rainmaker though, as it is forced upon me because Sheldon does not care. So I can pick up special weapons to get an extra 10 power eggs, but I can't use them. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, level 4, I beat it. Level 5, stay on your ground, was easy and actually quite fun. We jump there, bomb through there, grind, you're done. Level 6, another level I thought was almost impossible. Firstly, this block here, which I need to get on to continue, was actually 2 blocks on top of each other, so it wouldn't let me use my mashing B technique. But I figured that I could get lucky with the bomb explosions and paint the second block, and I did. I sure hope this doesn't cause much of a problem later. So I do the level essentially normal until I get to the final checkpoint. Oh. So yeah, the 2 block problem does come up again and again. I thought it was all over, but I can literally just throw it over there anyway. Although it took me a considerably long time, I managed to beat the level. Level 7 was okay, although it was a bit tedious. This wall here was annoying because there was a squeegee on it, and the same goes for this wall, and this wall. But this one was particularly hard because I would have to go throw a bomb, which attracts the squeegee, then throw another bomb on top of the squeegee to ink the wall. But whenever I threw a bomb onto the squeegee, before it exploded, the squeegee ran off to go run over some octopi. But then in the end, I did manage to ink a little bit of the wall and swam up and then moved on. With the rules I put in place, level 8 is actually not possible. Well, I think it isn't. The first bit is decently hard with annoying things like sprinklers and enemies unfurling your ink furlers. But then you get onto the final checkpoint. Once you get past these guys is a cannon, which, as you remember from earlier, I'm not allowed to use. And from what I know, the level is unbeatable without the cannon, so that's the first impossible level. I thought I had a decent chance of beating this level easily because this is the only level in the whole game which I've actually tried to speedrun. So I got the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, but not the 8th because I died. But then I came back from the dead and got it, so it's all good. The second boss was decently easy, the first stage was easy, the second stage was a bit harder, but I found out you could jump over his spin attack for some reason. And the third stage was quite simple too, as all you had to do was get behind him and throw bombs, and that's the level. So World 2 isn't possible if you use cannons. Level 10 was easy and nothing interesting really happened, so I completed it. I completely despise level 11. Every time I now see this putrid thing I get flashbacks to this level. I never ever want to do this level with AUTOBOMBs only ever again. But you may think AUTOBOMBs are perfect for this level. The target runs away, the AUTOBOMB catches up. Nope, the AUTOBOMB will only go in a straight line, so if you want to kill one of these things, you're gonna have to cut it off. Make sure your ink tank is full and throw 2 AUTOBOMBs so it can't get away. Another dumb thing about the AUTOBOMB, you might throw it with the intention of stopping the thing in its tracks, but if it is in the bomb's lock-on zone, it will spend time it should be blowing up running towards it, and then it'll either fall off the map or the tentahook will be passed already. But now that doesn't seem too hard, I thought to myself, thinking that I could just corner them all and it would be fine. But how wrong was I? This circle bit actually broke me. I couldn't gain ink in the middle because every time I threw down an AUTOBOMB, they would just run towards the tentahooks. But even when I did manage to ink the middle, it would be painted pink briefly afterwards from the bombs the tentahooks were firing on. And every time I threw a bomb, they would just run off the circle, making a beeline to below the target. But now, after what felt like a millennia, I finally tricked and kit. It was the wrong one. At this moment I literally wanted to die, but after an excruciating long time, I managed to get the key and was so happy I thought nothing could bring me down now, and everything was going great until the final checkpoint. Let me tell you, this was not fun. So while I deal with this version of hell, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor, Food. Personally, I've been using Food for a long time. It is very useful, and it helps me not die. If you want some food, go to the local place that sells food. Anyway, back to me, and that is the level, all done. Level 12 was very fun, and most of it was quite easy, mainly just jumping around, and it was all going well until I reached the zapfish. I couldn't find any way to get up this wall, because there was a little gap between the jumpy thing and the wood. I was so close that I could literally pop the zapfish's bubble, and I couldn't get it, so that's the second impossible level. Level 13 was difficult, but fun. It was hard to keep the drawers out and ink them at the same time, as I could only throw 2 AUTOBOMBs at a time, but after that bit, there was the flutter section, where I just walked through one like a pro. Then I got to the final checkpoint, squeezed through here, and completed the level. Level 14 right off the bat is impossible. Do you remember when I said, I sure hope this doesn't cause much of a problem later? Well, yeah. Since there are 2 blocks on top of each other, it makes it impossible for me to get up here. I tried everything, but nothing worked. So that's the third impossible level. Level 15 started off well. I hit this very cool trick shot, and I found sometimes the Octoling's AI gets a bit scared around the AUTOBOMB, or it mistakes the AUTOBOMB for a player and tries to kill it. Anyway, I died in a very stupid way here, and then completed the level. I didn't complete boss 3, but I'm 99% sure it's possible. The first stage is easy as all you need to do is throw a couple AUTOBOMBs on top of the boss to get the tentacle and done. But then it moves on to the second phase, and the second phase is very tedious. At first, I thought it was impossible to get these straps off, but then I found out that if you pop a bomb at just the right time, it'll deal a tiny bit of damage. So I spent the next 10 minutes breaking off this singular buckle, and I managed to do that in the end. But I'm not wasting another 10 minutes chipping away at another buckle with 3 heads this time. But at least it wasn't the Octo expansion one, so World 3 isn't possible with AUTOBOMBs only. Now on to World 4 and level 16. AUTOBOMBs weren't the most useful bomb on this level, because they kept running after bowling balls and weren't exploding where I wanted them to. So there was a lot of hopping around, and I mean a lot. The entire level was essentially just me spamming B. Anyway, that's the level. Level 17 was easy enough, but these fellas were a bit hard to kill, and it was sometimes difficult getting on top of the rotating platforms, but other than that, the level was easy and I beat it. Level 18 was fun, apart from when I was very dumb here, but other than that, I used the boxes to my advantage here, was very stealthy there, and sailed my way to the finish. Level 19 isn't possible, and it's not because of the reason you might think. In this level, there are 3 ways to go, and all you need to do is go to 3 ways to get the Zapfish. One of the ways seems impossible with AUTOBOMBs only, as you have to only use 2 AUTOBOMBs to get across a massive gap, but I somehow managed to do it anyway. However, things start to go downhill here, where there are 2 switches, and the AUTOBOMBs can't ink them, which makes this level impossible, so that is the 4th impossible level. Level 20, nothing really happened much, apart from me continuously forgetting how physics worked and having to restart the level all over again, but I managed to complete it. Level 21 was hard but fun because, believe it or not, Mori Towers is my favourite map. I don't get why it gets so much hate, but oh well. It was a hard level though, as the Octo Snipers were very annoying and I game overed because of them, but yeah, after that it was really just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and done. Boss 4, I'm not even gonna try. I hate that boss so much anyway, so I definitely not like to do it with AUTOBOMBs. I'm pretty sure it technically is possible though, as long as you can use the Rollium to take it down. I think it is, not sure though, so World 4 is not possible with AUTOBOMBs only. Level 22 was good at the start, apart from here where I almost died, but then the section after that gave me flashbacks to level 11. Anyway, I managed to corner it and get the key, and from there I just threw a couple of AUTOBOMBs and beat the level. The first bit of level 23 was easy as it was mainly just hopping from rail to rail, but then you get to this point. At first I thought it was impossible as I can't use the cannons, but then I found out you can get on top of the thing the balloon comes out of, but it was quite hard to place an AUTOBOMB on it. I managed to do a little thing where you jump and then place the AUTOBOMB and that worked. But sadly I need to do it twice in a row without dying or else the rail at the end won't activate. But after many tries and a couple game overs I managed to do it, and other than dying one more time I beat the level. At first I completely thought level 24 was impossible because I'll probably have to ink switches, but I give it a go anyway. This bit with the moving stick thing was really annoying as I couldn't ink anywhere I wanted to, but it just got worse from there as now I had to kill 3 moving flying Octo Troopers and one of those bomb guys, and that took forever. The other side was easier, but now I had to ink the switch, and no surprise I could only ink 4 sides, and that means level 24 is the 5th impossible level. And level 25 also is impossible as you can't ink these switches, which makes it the 6th impossible level. Level 26, everything was going quite well until here where I died. But other than that, the level was easy. Level 27 was an Octoling level and it went about the same way as all of them go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cool wraparound jump, 6, 7 and done. Now finally onto the final boss. I started off by seeing if I could damage the fists by throwing bombs directly at them. Sadly, that didn't work, so I had to try to damage the fists while they were stuck on the ground. And the fists take 3 direct bomb hits, so you have to hope you get your next hit in before he does his spin attack thing, which wipes your progress. It was also hard maintaining a full ink tank as the ground would be painted pink really quickly from bombs and fists. And a really annoying thing, sometimes bombs would run towards the fists if you didn't pop them at the right time, making the ink I just used useless. I died about 2 minutes in but restarted and then died again, but on my 3rd try I managed to knock Octavio out of the seat and moved on to the next phase, only 16 minutes in. Second phase had all the problems the first phase had, but now with bonus problems. I managed to do it with no deaths this time and moved on to the 3rd phase, which is essentially phase 2, with bonus problems and a banger song in the background. Anyway, after 50 shield breaks, I got into the final phase, used the Rainmaker, slapped Octavio, and got the Zapfish in almost 36 minutes. I don't ever want to play hero mode again, ever. So World 5 isn't possible with AUTOBOMBs only. So there you have it, that's all the levels that I could complete with AUTOBOMBs. I really hope you enjoyed the video. This was like, it took me a very long time to make, This outro bit is the only bit that I didn't write out what I was gonna say, and it took me a lot of time to actually get the words out properly. But thank you for coming this far into the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Oh yeah, if this gets 200 likes before Splatoon 3 comes out, I'll do it with curling bombs.